Hi, good morning, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order. It's 9 o'clock. Thank you for joining us during our weekly virtual MLS breakfast meeting. My name is Vincent Hao from VAAC International Inc. I'm your July MLS program chair. And a little bit about me. I came here at 2002 and I get my a master degree in construction management from USC. And then later I worked in the construction field for a couple of years. But later myself found the real estate industry is more fun. So we formed our small firm, VAAC International from 2009. It's a great blessing. Everything is good, has been good for us things. And it's my great honor to be with you as your July program chair to serve you for this month. So a little bit housekeeping tips. All participants will be muted upon entry to the MLS breakfast meeting. And if you have any question or comment, please remember to enter that into the chat box and then we will reply later under the Q&A. And please remember to join us weekly as we will have our virtual MLS breakfast meeting every Thursday at 9 o'clock. As always, this meeting is being recorded and will be available online on YouTube channel, West St. Gabriel Valley Realtors. And please remember to follow us on the social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can also watch all our pre-recorded videos on YouTube. And WSGVR introduced a new text feature. Just text WSGVR to the number 72727, and you will get all the updates through the text messages. So for this meeting, the CRMOS quick tip, the Zillow listing distribution. On January 12th, 2021, Zillow became a brokerage in our area. This change impacted how CRMOS brokers distribute the listing to Zillow. Zillow is becoming a dues-paying member of local, state, and the National Association of Realtors, and making the switch to IDX fees in every area. It has chosen to become a brokerage. Zillow will show residential for sale listings at no charge, but has decided not to display for lease listings. Brokers and agents who want their lease listings to appear on Zillow will need to enter into a separate written agreement with Zillow. You can visit www.gocrmos.org/compliance for more information and the resources. For today's agenda, we have our affiliate spotlight, Amy Kwon from Double Door Tech, followed by our guest speaker, Eric Duyshart, Economic Development Manager, City of Pasadena. And to be eligible for today's raffle, you must be a WSGVR member, and your name must be displayed to win, and not the telephone numbers, okay? So the next, the affiliate spotlight brought to you by our affiliate committee, Chair Seth Gomez, my NHD, and the Vice Chair Brendan Sorensky, First American NHD. So for our affiliate spotlight today, Amy Kwon from Double Door Tech. Amy, the stage is yours. Please know that you have 2 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for having me today. This is my first spotlight, so I am a little bit nervous. I'm with Double Door Technology. I started the company on 2017. Double Door is a bridge between foreign investor to buy U.S. residential property and U.S. real estate professionals. My career started with the West St. Gabriel board over 30 years ago. I have a business finance degree, and in fact, I'm taking a sabbatical for a PhD law program from China's political law and political science and law university. My professional background has been over 30 years in both US and Asia. I practiced real estate in Hong Kong and China for over 18 years, and I relocated back to US on 2014. From that experience, I see the opportunity for foreign investors to buy US property. So I started Double Door. And my full-time job right now is develop Double Door. When I'm not working, my biggest passion is travel, and I walk about 30 miles a week. So I'm an affiliate member of West San Gabriel Board, and thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope to see you all in person very soon.
Thank you. Hope everything will be normal very soon. Then we can all meet at the board office. So any people have any question, you can contact me on the screen. So now we will have the affiliate introduction. Affiliates, please remember this is just a morning greeting, no promotions. First one, we have John Wax, SNAP NHD.
Good morning, everyone. Well, John Wax with SNAP NHD for all your NHD tax and environmental needs. My information will be in the chat.
Nancy Chen, lawyer's title. Nancy?
Good morning, everybody. Nancy Chan, lawyer's title. Thank you so much for your friendship and support. Thank you.
Maria Howard, Old Republic Home Protection.
Good morning, everybody. Maria Howard here with Old Republic Home Protection to help you with any of your home warranty needs and questions. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Angie 10, steward title.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Caravan, Angie Tang, Stewart title. Thank you.
Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty.
Good morning, everyone. Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty. Have a fabulous day.
Teresa Lam, Korean Henan title. Teresa, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. Yeah. This is Teresa Lam with Corinthian Title Company for all your title needs. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Sage Gomez, my NHD.
Good morning, everyone. Sage Gomez here with my NHD. Have a great day.
Unita Wu, Home Warranty of America.
I don't think she's here today.
Oh, she's not here. Judy Chow, AAA Capital Investments.
There you go. Good morning, Judy Chow, a loan officer, AAA Capital Investment. Have a great week. Thank you.
And then next we have Annie Fan, Chicago Title.
Good morning, this is Annie, Chicago Title. Have an amazing day.
Cosmo Sanchez, New M Funding.
Morning, everyone. Cosmo Sanchez with New M Funding. Thank you.
Mark Wu, Allstate Insurance.
Good morning, everybody. Agency owner Mark Wu with Allstate Insurance, servicing the San Gabriel Valley for over 33 years for your property insurance needs.
And please remember, always support our affiliates for your transactions. And OpenPeach, today we have no listing features. So at this time, please help me welcome Leon Townsend, member of the Legislative Committee and our City of Pasadena liaison. He will introduce our guest speaker today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Leon Townsend, and I am your liaison for the City of Pasadena, a city that I hold really near and dear to my heart as I was raised there. Today, I have the honor of introducing the Economic Development Manager for the City of Pasadena. There's a lot of great things going on. I don't want to extend out the introduction. I'll let Eric get into it, but without any further ado, from the City of Pasadena, Mr. Eric Duyshart, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be with you. As Leon noted, I am the Economic Development Manager for the City of Pasadena, so happy to be a part of your morning meeting. I deal with a range of issues for the City of Pasadena, including managing the city's real estate. So we appreciate all the work that you do in kind of helping transact and manage all of our city assets here in the San Gabriel Valley. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. So hopefully you can all see that. I'll go ahead with my slide presentation. So I'm going to share maybe just a few broader economic graphs to give you some context, then get into some institutional investment that's happening in Pasadena, a few commercial projects, and then also just a sampling of some of the larger multifamily and mixed-use projects happening in Pasadena. So no surprise. And again, with our pictures here off to the side, sometimes this gets blocked, but ultimately we're in this kind of COVID-19 recovery mode. You can see from the comparison of the dot-com bubble crash recession, the Great Recession, we have a substantial decrease in employment because of the COVID situation. So, but we expect a relatively quick recovery from at least jobs being available. Whether there's a connection to those who have the correct skills is a whole different question, but just to show a comparison of the employment there. And where we've lost our jobs is primarily in the hotel, food services, retail, and even healthcare sectors. So you can see some of the dramatic losses in, or actually the unemployment claims in those categories over the last year. And then just as a kind of local note, restaurants, of course, were hit very hard. And if you compare kind of the sales volumes in Pasadena versus Monrovia, Arcadia, you can see kind of the normal course up until COVID hit, and then how it kind of spiked down for the December quarter. So these are still lagging 5-6 months as far as reporting, but it shows how quickly all those restaurants had to kind of deal with the decline. But in Pasadena, we immediately started to work hard, just like many other cities, to get dining outside. So you saw a relatively quick transition to some street dining where parking lots weren't available or patios. And then we're working now with the business improvement districts to make that a bit more attractive, because we want to keep not all of it, but a lot of it for kind of a longer term dining option, especially as variants kind of seem to keep hitting us. So now with some institutional investments, you may have seen the completed Caltech Chenyer Science Center, $210 million facility. This is not for people from the public. These are for students and researchers, but still, this kind of investment helps stabilize our local economy and supplement the kind of things that are happening in the private sector as far as just kind of market commercial activity. Same with Kaiser Permanente School of Medicine. That's been operational for the last few months. They're going to essentially welcome their second class into the building this fall. Caltech Quantum Computing Lab is under construction. That's going to be finished later this summer. An important kind of research facility, a partnership between Caltech and Amazon. And then the Resnick Sustainability Center is also going to start construction, hopefully later this year. 80,000 square foot facility with the Resnick family donating a lot of money to Caltech. Huntington Hospital is continuing to expand near their campus along Fair Oaks in California. We have this medical office building just south of California, and another 100,000 square foot medical office building that is planned for the southeast corner of California and Fair Oaks. Caltech is, of course, a well-known institution, but our design friends over at Art Center are also expanding. They can't necessarily find a lot of space to expand on top of the hill above the Rose Bowl where their main campus is located. But they have acquired property on South Raymond and South Arroyo Parkway near Glenarm. And there's a master plan approved for their expansion and addition of student housing at that location. Doheny Eye Institute has bought property in Pasadena. They're under construction now for the rehabilitation of this existing office building. They're going to move their headquarters and research facility here, and also in partnership with UCLA. So that kind of institutional presence is expanding. And this is a kind of a sleeper project in northern Pasadena near Altadena, but This old William Carey campus got purchased by Education First, which is a Swiss company. It's a boarding school, and they really their business model got hit hard during COVID, but they still expect to complete their project here. And this is an interesting, essentially private high school where students can take 1 year of study in Spain, and 1 year of study in Singapore, and another year of study in California. So their students get a kind of international education, and ultimately this will be their main campus here in California. So it's an interesting business model because it is a for-profit group. So now to go to commercial investment, we have this old Bank of America building, a very large one with no windows that got acquired a couple of years ago. They're adding windows in a courtyard and making it, in their minds, very kind of COVID friendly as far as fresh air and options, because before this building had no windows. So that is going through renovation right now. New hotels were kind of put on hold. We still have several that have been approved by the city, including this one here at Hill in Colorado. We're not, from a city perspective, 100% sure when they're going to pull the trigger on construction, but that's been approved right by PCC. General Motors, we've been working to get them to acquire land in East Pasadena. They are they're moving their design and technology activity out of Los Angeles into Pasadena. This will be their design and technology campus. As you may know, most of the car manufacturers have their primary design activity for kind of advanced design in California. So this is a nice connection with Pasadena. And then activity with biotech as well, Zencor, a Caltech spinoff that's been floating around the San Gabriel Valley for a little while, is coming back to Pasadena, publicly traded and doing well. Hotels, here's in the Playhouse District, a hotel that's being proposed just by Earth Cafe. It'd be a nice addition to that business district. And we continue to have smaller investment into historic renovations. Here we have the old Brunswick building in Old Pasadena getting revitalized and looking for some new tenants. And then to housing in Pasadena. When we talk about housing, a lot of it is in mixed use projects. So this project is well underway and almost finished in what was the parking lot for the Parsons engineering facility. So we're looking at just shy of 400 apartment units and office space being developed and ground floor retail. And that's really about done right now as they're finalizing many of the improvements to the interiors. Another project on Lake Avenue where Coco's was near Lake and Green. This is also mixed use housing and some residential units. This project over here, Paseo, is been under construction for a while and should be done by the end of the year. These are condominiums and kind of anchors the Paseo Mall. Mixed use on Arroyo Parkway as well. This is across from the Parkway Grill on Arroyo Parkway near California. This is a combination of medical space and senior housing. And this is by the Panda Inn restaurant in East Pasadena. A redesign of what something that was approved by the city previously, but a renovation of the Panda Inn building itself and 230 plus apartment units right there by the light rail station at Sierra Madre Villa. In Northwest Pasadena, we have development. This is a senior housing project at Fair Oaks and Orange Grove. This is kind of the second phase of something that happened a little while ago, providing some affordable units for seniors. This is a development near Green and Lake, a larger one on the south side of Green Street. 3 parcels were assembled for a project that has still to be, it's going through the approval process, but this is 250 apartment units on that block. Also another large project on the site that we refer to as the Darth Vader building site. This is Bridges, Old Pasadena, and near Paseo. This is not an immediate project because there's some tenants still in that office building that have leases, but ultimately this group has approached the city with this large mixed-use project with retail on the ground floor and housing at a kind of higher density, at least for Pasadena, on the remaining floors. And then, you know, again, just to kind of highlight some projects, this one's at Lincoln and Orange Grove, an infill project where there's been a kind of abandoned gas station. And so this is going to be a big improvement by the post office. This also be affordable units. Here we have a new project across from City Hall, next to the historic post office on Union Street. So just again, this is to give you a sense of the infill environment in our, mostly in our downtown. We do have other infill at very low densities in other parts of the city, but those are just individual units. But here we have another example of apartment complex that this will be, this is under construction right now on the left. And then on the right, kind of behind the Ralph's grocery store, that's on Lake Avenue. This one's at Mentor and Walnut. This will be also low-income affordable housing, which we got grant money from the state, and I'm happy to see that project go forward. This is a project by Fuller Seminary on Union. This is under construction on the left here, on both sides of the street. A large complex that is being pursued by Ken McCormick and his partners. And up the street, another project by the Balian team. So we have a lot of projects. So a lot of sites that have been going through extensive design review and approvals by the city. The one on the upper right is under construction as well. This is at Union and Amelino, 40 units of condos. The project here on the bottom left here is also in the Playhouse District. This has been approved, very attractive design, but the site's for sale as an entitled project. So it's something that has not started construction yet. Out in East Pasadena on what is the Space Bank site has been a challenging project for a while because of soil issues and ownership entanglements with the property, but ultimately this is also approved by the city, and they are going through soil mitigation, I think right about now, and hopefully we'll see that start construction end of this year and next year. More infill on Walnut. So in the city, we have upzoned property primarily near light rail stations over the last 10 years, and we've continued to take that track of providing a little bump in density where people can walk to the train station and may not rely on a car like many of us do. Here's more infill on North Fair Oaks, attractive project at a smaller density because the density allowance, and again, because that kind of non-central district areas are more modest at a density that is more appropriate to have next to the single family residential. And we're even getting projects, oh, sorry, this is a repeat. This is near Lincoln and Orange Grove again. But this is what I was referring to on this strip of land, old rail right-of-way, where they're going to be building market rate, single room occupancy type of apartment units. So we have investors squeezing in units on non-traditional sites. So that is really kind of the quick review of some of the major projects happening in Pasadena. From our office, we do want to and work toward promoting all the different districts, commercial districts in Pasadena. We have 13 different ones with all different interests and flavors and activities. So we want to refer you to our website as people are considering different investments and where to live in Pasadena. And that goes along with our working with private sector on infrastructure improvements. We've got the largest Tesla charging station near Paseo. That's done, and we have another one being constructed now at Glenarm, where the Pasadena Freeway just enters Pasadena, right? The Glenarm Power Plant. And then 7-10 years out, we might start to see some activity on what is considered the 710 stub. So Caltrans has finally kind of defunded this effort to extend this freeway down to Long Beach and through Alhambra and South Pasadena. I know there's lots of mixed feelings about that, but ultimately it's not going to be funded anymore. And they're looking at ways to reuse this old right-of-way. And so the city is going to take a lead role in trying to figure out what to do with that strip of land. So expect, again, in 4 or 5 years, that the conversation about what exactly is going to happen with housing and commercial infill to be kind of pursued on this important segment of our city. So very conceptual right now, but just to give you a flavor of what kind of things are being considered for the future. So with that, I'll stop. Hopefully I didn't go past my allotted time, and I'm happy to respond to questions that you might have.
That looks like it. You must be very busy. That looks like a lot of large projects, mixed use facilities, and everything happening in Pasadena right now. So let's see, our question for today. So we have a first question from Judy Chow. She's asking the ADU approval turnaround time. Do you have this information?
Yeah, I don't have a specific turnaround time estimate, but I will just kind of give an overview of kind of our ADU perspective in Pasadena. I think when the state first started to require that cities allow for ADUs, and this happened in stages, but the first stage occurred 5-6 years ago, there was a little bit of a political anxiety about how that was going to work. And we did have lots of restrictions on how that could be implemented. So that, again, was a few years ago. But in the last year, I think there's been a significant effort, both at our city council and in our planning staff, to make it much easier for all this to happen. So they've really loosened the rules, made it more friendly as far as getting through our city process. As you can see, our staff is busy dealing with a wide variety of projects, so it's not necessarily that we don't want to see it happen. Sometimes it's just a staff resource issue, but ultimately I think you'll see that Pasadena is much more open to getting some of these ADUs built, or portions of existing garages or other things converted. So I would definitely encourage those who are interested in that to just talk to our planning staff early and make sure that you communicate all the details quickly so that they can evaluate and get the project moving as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you. And I think the next one is a comment from Mario. He said, interesting to see the housing patterns into more condos along with the density in housing, no longer single family houses. Do you have any comment?
Yeah, I mean, Pasadena, we just don't have the room. So it's not like we have vacant land that people can develop into new single family tracts. So we have, from time to time, homes that are demolished and new ones constructed. More often, they're just very elaborate additions. Again, you're not getting a new unit out of that. So all the kind of additions to Pasadena's total inventory of housing is coming in the form of these larger projects. And if you look on a map, they've been carefully planned for. So it's not happening directly adjacent to established neighborhoods. This is happening in areas that are either directly adjacent to transit stations or part of our urban central district, where it's adjacent to an office building, adjacent to other amenities that allow for people to walk a bit more and rely less on their automobile.
Okay, so the next question is from Ling. How do Pasadena calculate density allowance? More population, traffic flow?
Yeah, so as I said, if we are putting housing where people don't have to take a car, our hope is that our traffic volume is not impacted as much. This goes into kind of urban planning policy, right? So if we are already constrained from a housing perspective in Southern California, we don't want all the new units to be built out in the desert where people absolutely 100% need a car to do things. Infill is the smart way to go as long as you do it in a meaningful way. So in Pasadena, it's been a long kind of public engagement with our citizens, with our businesses, with the professional planners that are on staff and city council to figure out what the right balance will be for housing. So it's not like this has happened quickly. This has been ongoing discussion over the last 10 plus years. And what's happened though is that even though the city may have, for instance, allowed and thought a density of 48 units per acre might be appropriate on a particular block, the state's regulations that allow for a bonus for affordable housing has allowed for a bump in height and some other things. And that dynamic of what the city had planned for and what the state's density bonus allows for has been a bit more of a challenge in some cases. But in either case, I think Pasadena is outperforming every other city in the San Gabriel Valley as far as the production of affordable housing and high-end housing. So it's both.
So the next question is from Thomas. What is the ratio percentage of ADU versus new homes permits being approved?
I'm only guessing. So, and I can look that up, but I thought I had heard that over the course of the last previous like 3-4 years, we were only averaging like a dozen. But this year in particular, I know we have like 50 plus applications. So it has definitely kind of doubled, tripled in the last year as far as applications that are coming into the city for that. And a lot of it might be just a surge because of some of the rules that have now been kind of simplified. But we do expect that to continue for a little while. Many of them are conversions of garages rather than brand new. So many cities have required, and Pasadena was one of them, that every house, every unit have covered parking. And we just got rid of that. So it is, in a way, an outmoded requirement, since people with Uber and other things have options for transportation, and a lot of people just working from home. So the kind of requirement for covered or garage parking takes up a lot of space, and Pasadena and other cities, and I'm sure other cities have done it, but more recently Pasadena got rid of that requirement. So some of those existing garages can be converted to ADUs.
Okay, and the next question is also from Thomas. He's asking, how is the city addressing the traffic issue with so many projects on the horizon?
So traffic, when you look at city streets and the traffic that compares to 20 years ago to 10 years ago, you'd be surprised at how little change there's been. And now this is with the exception of a handful of intersections. So like the intersection of California and Arroyo Parkway. And there's like 4 or 5 other intersections that are kind of problematic in the city. But on average, between Colorado Boulevard and Lake Avenue, some streets that you would have assumed have dramatically different traffic patterns really have been pretty mild in their adjustment. And with all this housing, people, if you look at which cities have grown in the last year in Southern California, Pasadena is one of the top 10, but we've grown by like 0.5%. It's not as much as people think. And a lot of people, as you know, because you're the homes that you want to sell are not turning. A lot of people are just retiring in place. So, you have people that move out and you have fewer people in each home in many cases. So these units are generally not family units either. These are units that are for singles or pairs of people. So the dynamic of population growth is not intuitive when you really look at how that's occurred. So traffic, again, there are some exceptions that are challenging for the city to deal with, but overall has not been a tremendous impact, and especially with the freeways are a different story, right? People are trying to get from city to city. That's bad, but that's not the city's issue. And when we develop housing closer to the urban center, that helps with the overall traffic on the freeways.
Okay, thank you. I think Mario asked the same question about the traffic, so let's just go to the next question from Amy. She's asking, is the container type of construction building approved by City of Pasadena?
I didn't catch that. What the type of construction?
Container type of construction. I think she is talking about the existing container turned into a residential units or kind of like a prefabrication buildings and turn into the residential units. Is there like such thing happen in Pasadena already?
I don't know if I fully understand the question, but in general, we don't have prefabricated units coming into Pasadena. I can't think of more than one example of that. And I don't see that as a trend because that generally applies to land that is vacant. We've had a couple instances where office buildings have been converted to residential. And we might see a little bit more of that. I don't see that as a really big trend, but it could, where people have decided to just take an office building and completely gut it and renovate it into housing. That's also a very expensive proposition, but that has occurred, and the city's zoning permits that in most cases.
Okay, and then the next question is from Cecilia. She says she is interested in the number of units added to the housing/rental inventory in progress now.
Yeah, that's fluctuates all the time. I would say that we have added like 1,500 units or so in the last 2 years. But the planning staff in our, the RENA numbers, I'm sure if you're familiar with those kind of state acronyms, but I would encourage you to look at our planning department website. I think they have that if you dig a little bit on the exact number, but we're talking about 800, 1,200 units per year that we've been, I think, averaging in the last kind of 4 or 5 years. So it's been healthy.
Okay, and the next one, that's Olivia's question. She wants to ask about is any additions or future plans for Pasadena City College?
So plan, so not anything dramatic. So from a master plan standpoint, they've completed their what they had as a planning document in large degree. They added a few buildings and some improvements. They have a very, very nice arts building that they have been operating in. And they, so anyway, so the campus is stable. Of course, they got hit a lot with all the COVID stuff, like any other university, but they're looking at hybrid models for learning, I think, going into the fall. They're demolishing a building right now, their old biology building that was seismically kind of determined to be unsafe. So they'll be replacing that kind of in like kind. So, you know, it's a building's going down and another one's coming up in the same place. But yeah, it's a great community college. They're highly regarded. They've got a great range of programs. But from kind of a future looking standpoint, physically, it's not going to be dramatically different. They're going to be adding a couple new parking garages, I think, too, in the next 5 years. But I hope that answers the question. But it's not like they're doubling in size or anything. Their student population, I see, is relatively stable.
Okay, and the next question is from Lorraine. Will you be working with the Alhambra to help the traffic congestion from end of 710 on Valley Boulevard into Pasadena? Any plans for traffic flow?
Yeah, so in my tenure with the city of Pasadena, I have learned to kind of stay away from telling people whether the 710 extension is good or bad, because people have very different views on that. So admittedly, I know that there are big issues with you know, a couple cities downstream on traffic when it relates to the Caltrans and regional traffic. Yeah, some of our units that we're building and some of the institutional investment will have people coming to Pasadena from nearby cities. But, you know, that is not a city of Pasadena endeavor. You know, we are bound to invest and to plan for activities within our municipal boundaries. And hopefully with Caltrans' decision to not pursue the freeway and do some other things, they're helping out our neighboring communities on traffic mitigation. But I personally don't get involved in that.
Okay, and the question back to Judy, I guess she still wants to ask more specific, like a turnaround time for ADU. Will you said it's like around 3 months or 6 months for ADU turnaround time?
So again, it's not like there's a standard, because some people are just trying to get an official permit for something that already exists. In other cases, they're just converting a garage. In other cases, they're adding a brand new unit in the backyard. So there's a whole range of scenarios. You know, I can ask, and I can kind of forward you the answer that I get from our planning staff, but I don't know if there's a kind of easy, you know, it's 4 to 5 weeks type of thing. Because
I guess every situation is different, so I guess it take the time to review, and it's just different time turnaround time.
Right. But in general, I'll just say that, you know, minus just the busyness of our staff, there is not an attitude that they're trying to kind of drag their feet and not want that to happen. I think between the planning director, the city manager, and our city council, there is a general eagerness to allow property owners to pursue these ADUs.
Okay, so I guess this is I will ask the very last question from myself. So in your position, you know, when the special time like this, the pandemic is almost over, then we have the Delta variants, and the help application is like a decreasing, but lots of restaurant owner couldn't find the employees. So at this special time in your position, what is the difficulty, the major difficulty Pasadena is facing, and what is your plan on dealing or like grow the economy of Pasadena?
Yeah, so that's a complicated issue, and we've been at the receiving end of hearing restaurants, just being concerned that they're not getting the appropriate interest from people to apply for jobs or even to return. Of course, they'd want to hire the same people that they had to let go at the beginning of the pandemic. So between retail and restaurants, there's definitely a challenge right now to get people back to work. I'm not going to comment on the reasons for that, but hopefully in the fall that will improve. And then we have at a different level the companies that have more professional level need. If you look at jobs available and all the companies that are trying to recruit professionals and engineers and various other groups with skills, they have the challenge of affordable housing. So we meet with businesses on a regular basis, and they I'll boil it down to the top three things that they'll share their concerns with about the city of Pasadena. It will be availability of schools and quality of schools, or and sometimes parking, but more times than not, it's the fact that when they're trying to bring someone in from Connecticut or from Ohio or whatever, is just that there's not enough housing available that they can afford and raise a family. So that is something that the city has in its mind collectively when we're adding some of these units, that it's for the workforce. But ultimately, I think we're seeing a general uptick right now in like a pent-up demand for some investment. So we're hoping that settles into kind of positive projects that, if I'm updating this slide deck in 3 years, that you see a new range of nicer improvements that are making Pasadena better for the next 100 years.
Thank you very much for today. I hope our question didn't overwhelm you. And on behalf of the West San Gabriel Valley Realtors, we would like to thank Mr. Eric Duyshart for his very informative presentation. Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
So then next will be our attendance drawing. So please remember to type your email into the chat box. So the first one is Kristen Z. Are you here?
I don't believe so.
No, you're not here. So let's go next one. Christopher Liu. Mr. Liu, are you here?
Christopher, I don't think so.
And Wenhua Gerber.
I don't think so.
No.
And let's pick somebody that's here. Alice is usually here, but she's not here today.
She's not here today.
Yeah.
Mei Chon Shen.
Oh, is here. Mi Chen Shen, could you put your email on the bottom? Or acknowledge that you're here.
Oh yeah, she.
Oh, that she just
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I see. Okay, great. So two more.
Two more.
Hong Chen
Hong
is
Chan.
here. She's here.
Yeah,
Okay, Hong, could you put your email on the bottom so we can send you the Amazon card?
thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Last one.
Ni?
Ni Wang.
Ni is here. Yay.
Okay, please remember to type your email into the chat box. So for the next one, we will have the educational class. So please remember to join our education class. And we have a webinar, license renewal, DRE 45-hour continuing education. It's on 9 o'clock, Friday, July 23rd. The cost is $85. And then the next one will be at home with the diversity certification course. It's 9 o'clock on July 26th, Monday. The membership member pay $39, non-member pay $49. 8-hour MLO live webinar continuing education is on July 28th from 9 o'clock to 4:30 p.m. It's a Wednesday and then the cost is $129. And the last one is the CRMS virtual training cloud agent suite. It's on 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 1 hour only on July 28th on Wednesday, and then the cost is free. And the next one will be, remember to register for our CAR Expo. This is the virtual from October 5th to 7th. And then please remember to join us for the next week. Welcome our affiliate lenders panel. And it's at 9 o'clock next Thursday, July 29th. And please remember to support our affiliate with your transactions. And then now the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thank you for coming for today.